What is up, Cool Kids Club? This is Joey here with Youngster Joey Videos, and I am so excited. I'm actually showing you guys a deck that I think is not that bad. It is actually like quote unquote like tournament ready, as in at least it has a side deck and an extra deck and everything. I think it might have some ban cards in it. I'm not really that sure. Again, I don't play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh or anything like that. I just have fun making some decks, and I wanted to show this off to you guys. So it's basically all centers around Junk Synchron, and really around something called Stardust Shooting Dragon, which we'll get to in a minute. So there's two junk anchors. Their effect kind of matters. They basically can be used in the place of Junk Synchron, but really what they do is they are tuners, which if you're aware of what Shooting Stardust Dragon is, it needs more tuners in the deck. So there are two tuners there, Junk Anchor. Synchron Carrier, again, it has a pretty good effect. It's actually not a tuner, even though it has Synchron in its name, which might be a little confusing. But what it does do is it allows you to normal summon Synchron monsters in addition to this card in your normal summon and set. So basically you can bring out this and Junk Synchron, and even if it's your first turn, all of a sudden you can go into a 5-star monster. So it's pretty cool there. And then we have Turbo Booster. So Turbo Booster, again, is not a great card, but it is at least level 1, which is the main reason why it's in this deck. And if you have normal summon a monster this turn, you can special summon this card from your hand. So again, you can normal summon one level 1 monster, bring out this one, and then you can go into Formula Synchron, which is necessary for Shooting Stardust Dragon. Again, everything comes back to Shooting Stardust Dragon. Here's a level 1 tuner, Turbo Synchron. So just like I was saying, it's basically just here because it's a level 1 tuner. We have Stardust Shilong. Again, it's not a great card, but if I have Stardust Dragon, it does allow me to special summon this card from the graveyard in attack position each turn. So that way, again, I can get a level 1 monster on the field so that I can jump into Formula Synchron. And then here is the star of the show, or at least in like Duel Links and stuff, where I have a deck that's similar to this that I play with, Junk Converter. So basically, Junk Converter, his effect is pretty darn good. What he does is I can basically discard him and another tuner in order to get Junk Synchron in my hand. What that does is it allows me to bring Junk Synchron in my hand, and when I summon Junk Synchron, I get Junk Converter out of the graveyard. Then I can go into a level 5 Synchro monster. Well, Junk Converter's effect means when I go into a Synchro monster using it, I can pull a Synchro or a tuner out of my graveyard, which allows me to get into a level 8 Synchro monster. I'm going to go ahead and pull this aside so I can kind of show you guys that in a minute, kind of basically how it works. Then I have Jet Synchron. Again, I think this is one of those banned cards, but it's a level 1 tuner and it's useful for getting out Formula Synchron. We have Drill Synchron, not a great card, not super useful here, honestly, but it does have the word tuner in its effect, and that's really all I need. And then I have Sangan. So Sangan's main reason here is to be able to search Junk Converter. So Junk Converter really is what kind of gets our whole deck starting, so we need Junk Converter, and Sangan helps us do so. Here's Junk Synchron, like I said. Really important card. Basically what happens is he gets to pull Junk Converter out of the graveyard, and he's also necessary for some of our level 5s. And then once we go into level 5, we're able to go into a level 8, aka Stardust Dragon, but we have a couple other level 8s as well. Starlight Road, not a great card in this deck, or at least, I mean, I guess it's not that bad, because, but basically if he tries, or anyone I'm facing basically tries to go after me and destroy 2 cards, then I can pull out Stardust Dragon by using that. Defense Draw, again, some of the traps aren't great here, but it basically, during damage calculation, the battle damage would be 0, and then I draw a card, so no big deal. Again, Spirit Force, and some of these traps aren't that good, but I needed a full 40 deck, so we'll go ahead and go through them anyway. So basically, during damage calculation, during your opponent's turn, again, take no battle damage from that battle, then I can add 1 warrior type tuner monster with 1500 less defense from your graveyard to your hand. So again, it lets you get Junk Synchron back, basically. It's the whole point. And then Power Frame. Again, some of these are really like Yusei Fudo cards, which is kind of why they're in here. Power Frame is one of those. Basically, it just allows me to, you know, it kind of helps with battle traps and stuff like that. Okay, so Space Dragster. Again, I think this is another Yusei Fudo card, but it basically gets another card out in the field. Special summon this card as an effect monster, machine type, tuner. Again, tuners are always what we want. Level 1, so it's another way to get a level 1 tuner to get into Formula Synchron. Draining Shield, again, it's a battle trap, basically. And then we have Starlight Junction. So Starlight Junction kind of has a little bit of a weird effect, but I can tribute a tuner monster and special summon 1 Synchron monster from your deck with a different level than the tributed monster on the field. So basically, if I tribute one monster, then I can get Junk Synchron onto my field, or I have a couple other Synchrons, but really Junk Synchron is what we would normally want. Okay, so we have 3 of those. Again, we're almost done. I know we're going through this one a little bit slower than some of the other ones, but I really like this deck. Then I have tuning. I have 3 tunings, again, to basically search for Junk Synchron. I have 2 Monster Reborn, I think, to be able to pull things back out of the graveyard. Always good, especially when we're trying to synchro those off. Fighting Spirit, again, not really a great card, but again, I think is a real common Yusei Fudo card. I try to have at least some Yusei cards in here. The equipped monster gains 300 attack for each monster my opponent controls. If it would be destroyed by battle, you can destroy this card instead. So it's not bad for letting someone stay on the turn. And then 3 Rhodas. So this is actually the newest addition to the deck and why I was waiting to do this deck profile. The Rhodas really, again, they either search Junk Synchron or Junk Converter depending on which one I need. Because Junk Synchron isn't great unless I have a Junk Converter in the graveyard. So sometimes I might want Junk Converter and then use Junk Converter's effect to search Junk Synchron. And then we have our actual our Synchro monsters. We have, I think, 3 Junk Warriors. Basically, just to be a level 5 as a stepping stone to level 8. Junk Speeder is another level 5, and it's actually a little bit again, it works a little bit better. It automatically kind of pulls some stuff out of the graveyard and stuff. So it's kind of like Junk Warrior, but better. And then we have our a lot of the dragons from the anime, because you got to have them. We got Black Rose Dragon, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, Shooting Star Dragon. Again, this is kind of our quote-unquote win condition. And Stardust Dragon. And then Formula Synchron. And Mighty Warrior's not a particularly good card, but it's just one I had. So again, that's basically our main deck right there and our extra deck. I said I would kind of run through these, but again, I kind of already explained it. But basically what I would do, if this were my hand, I would, or if I had a different tuner monster in my hand, maybe I would basically use Junk Converter's effect, get rid of that tuner monster, get Junk Synchron, or I could get rid of Junk Synchron. Either way, that's in my graveyard now. And then when I summon Junk Synchron, I get to pull out Junk Converter, pull out one of those level 5s that we just looked at. Bam! And now I have Junk Warrior on the field and Junk Synchron on the field, and then I turn those into Stardust Dragon. I know that was a garbage explanation, but that's basically the idea. That's how you get Stardust Dragon on the field in one turn, and it can be pretty fun, especially when you have Formula Synchron on there, and they can go into Shooting Star Dragon. I kind of glossed over Shooting Star Dragon, even though it's our main win condition. Basically, its effect is that it can attack based off of the number of times I can reveal a tuner monster from the top 5 cards of my deck. So if I get like 3 or 4 tuners at the top of my deck, it can attack a whole lot with 3,300 attack, and it can OTK if I have the right tuners. And then our side deck isn't really anything that great, but it's not too bad. It's a couple of Bright Star Dragons, because these kind of do some stuff with level manipulation, and also they're a 1900 attack beater. So sometimes, again, the deck is pretty reliant on small monsters, so sometimes some bigger monsters are always good. And then these are just a couple extra tuners. A level 2 monster is never bad. Another Yusei card, Swift Swearico, Card Breaker, and Card Breaker, again, some low level monsters to help kind of work with low level with Junk Synchron. Again, he really likes level 2 monsters. Synchro Boost, another Starlight Road, Synchro Strike, and Synchro Deflector. Again, a lot of Synchro specific cards, which is why I pulled them out of the deck. But they're pretty fun, and again, that's really all the deck. I'm not saying it's like gonna win a tournament tomorrow kind of thing, but I think it's at least a relatively competitive deck. It's a lot of fun to play. Again, it's very similar to a deck I play in Duel Links. I know Duel Links is different than the real meta, but I think they're both, again, both a lot of fun, and I wanted to share this with you. So that's all we got, guys. Thank you so much. Bye!